I've always been fascinated with ghost stories and first-hand accounts of paranormal activity. This fascination grew when I had my own ghostly experience. So, 2 years ago, I was staying around my friend's house because we were going to go to Disneyland the next day, and we had to get up early in the morning to catch the Eurostar. We were the only two people in the whole house because everyone else had gone home for the Christmas holidays. I was staying in my friend's housemate's room, which was next to the front door, and my friend was staying in her room, which was down the hall. It was the middle of the night, and I was fast asleep, and then for some reason I woke up. I lay awake for a few minutes trying to get back to sleep when I heard the front door slam and then the sound of heavy boots stomping on the welcome mat and then quickly stomping up the stairs. I lay awake for a few more minutes thinking about what just happened when I heard 3 knocks on my bedroom door. I lay in silence again and then heard another 3 knocks, this time coming from the ceiling above the door. A few minutes after that, there were another 3 knocks on the ceiling above me. A while after, nothing happened and I tried to get back to sleep. But then, there were 3 knocks to the wall right next to me. And that was it. I went back to sleep sometime after. So this is an investigation into other people's ghost experiences. My first stop is to interview my friend Abby, whose house I stayed in during my ghostly encounter. Tell me about your experience with Judy, or who is Judy?
Well, Judy was our house ghost in my second year of university in Canterbury.
So when did you first see her or feel her?
We started off, we'd all be in bed and we'd all hear things coming from our living room, but no one would be in the living room.
Ooh.
So it would be really weird and creepy, and then things would be moved. Like a chair would be like the other side of the room. One night I was in bed and I saw like a floaty figure, like a woman, like an old lady, just in my room. It was scary.
What do you think she was trying to tell you? Do you think she had a message?
She just stood there and she didn't do anything. She just stood like completely still. And then we had like a little I don't know, got all the candles out and we tried to
exercise your house.
Yeah. But yeah, she was still there because we'd still hear her sometimes. She never appeared again though, so.
Next I head out into Canterbury City Centre to find an expert on ghost activity. Hello, I am here with John Hivsley, local author and historian by day, and by night, ghost hunter. What can you tell us about Canterbury's current ghost climate?
It's quite active actually, I was surprised. There's plenty of hauntings in Surrey and even Northgate. Certainly something on St Stephen's Hill the other day was found a ghost of a child who was trapped in the south portal of the Whitstable to Railway, Whitstable Canterbury District line, the Crab and Winkle line. Apparently a cave-in the 1940s, and he was trapped under some rubble and died there, but nobody knew he was there, and they saw his ghost when they were doing an opening up of the portal. I was in Tesco's in Faversham, and a little girl just came up to me randomly and said, "Mummy and Daddy love me very much." I thought, well, obviously they don't love you that much because they left you in a car park. I didn't say that. But I said, "Where are your parents?" And she said, she just pointed over to where the trolleys were by the entranceway. And I said, right, well, we'll take you over there. And as I walked her across the car park, her hands were icy cold, but it's March, freezing day. And as I got close to the mum and the dad and the little child in the pushchair, the child was screaming. But as he saw his sister, he just stopped screaming. And I said to the mum, your daughter says you love her very much, it's really sweet. And I didn't give her parental advice by saying you shouldn't leave her in a car park. But as soon as she heard that, she looked at me like I was deaf and said, "My daughter died 5 years ago today." I asked the child why me, and she said, "I just wanted to say that I like the new decoration on the wallpaper, Thomas the Tank in Water paper they put up," and she just wanted to say hello.
Oh, wow.
So that's it, and it's not really a blessing, it could be a curse. Talking to the dead. In the case of St Martin's down in Northgate. There was a child at school down there at small primary schools, and came back one day speaking fluent Latin, and the mother was furious, went into the school and said, "Why are you teaching my son this rubbish language, dead language?" And the school said, "We don't teach Latin." "Well, how come he speaks it then?" They said, "I don't know." And they asked the child, and he said he was talking to a chap in the playground. "What? Strangers in the playground? Oh, they'll take this child away." Turns out he was seeing a monk called Ignatius, who was executed in 1538, and he's buried inside the playground area of St Mary Breton Church, just down in Northgate. So the child didn't know that this person was dead and didn't ask a question. And he's been learning Latin for 4 months and was doing pretty well. So, nothing wrong with ghosts. They're there to educate.
Next, I head up onto Canterbury campus to find out if anyone else had had any ghost experiences.
Have you had any paranormal experiences?
Yes, but I'm not sure if it was a dream or not.
Or do you want to tell us about it?
I sleep in the same room as my sister, who's younger than me. I was going to bed and she was already asleep, and I thought I heard something, so I turned around and I kind of see something very abnormal that was scary, so I kind of just went under the sheets until I fell asleep, and I was shit scared, but I don't remember if it was a dream or not.
What did you see?
Just like a girl that was kind of she looked like kind of dirty and scary and not taken care of, like hygiene wise, and hair, just kind of same thing you see in movies.
Yeah. Like the girl in the ring?
Kind of, yeah.
So I was sleeping once in my parents' bed, not really relevant. I was sleeping alone though, and I remember that I turned, I was sleeping on my stomach, I turned on my back, and I saw this huge woman this way, wearing a white robe, let's say, or thing, but I'm not sure if it's actually an actual ghost, sleep paralysis that was been happening. But yeah.
I was in a car ride and it was the middle of the night and we were in the hillside and there was no civilization at all. I was literally in the middle of the hills back in India, and I saw this lady just walking, and we were in the car, so it was just a brief moment, second or two, but I saw her walking in a white dress, just walking around with her hair slipping out. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, I guess that it could have just been an actual lady.
Yeah, it could have just been that.
But then, I want to believe.
Yeah.
Me and my friend thought we saw a ghost when we were camping once, but I don't know, we were quite drunk, so I like to think, I don't know. It was sitting by a campfire and it was really dark and there was something moving and we kind of thought, I don't know, we were drunk though.
Oh, fair. What did it look like?
It was an old man with a hat on, but I don't know, it wasn't anyone I knew or anything, so it could have just been a man. I don't know, it just felt really kind of ghosty and creepy. But
yeah. Did your friend see it as well?
Yeah, my friend saw it as well, but like I said, we were drunk, so.
Fair.
I think when I was little, about 2 years old, I had to have a surgery, and I was in a hospital in France. And I remember the doctor said there was a nurse in there with them at some point, and then she disappeared and there was no records of her. So, and someone thought she looked like Saint Marina, something like that. So I don't know if that actually happened or
That's cool.
Perhaps I wasn't looking deep enough. Maybe the roots of our ghostly beliefs lie in our cultural heritage.
It's definitely a cultural thing in the sense that every culture has a different version of the classic ghost stories, but I feel a lot of let's say third world cultures believe in that sort of thing because they don't necessarily believe in the whole scientific logic of ghosts aren't real because science can't prove it. But yeah, I definitely believe it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well. I think when you're when you get affected by those sort of experiences, when you are from those sort of backgrounds, third world countries, you experience firsthand a place like India and Pakistan, those sort of places really believe in that kind of stuff. So I think that's where we're from as well. So yeah, we've both grown up believing that kind of stuff.
In the Muslim religion, there's what we call jinn, and basically that's the idea that we live here and they also live in the same area in a different kind of
like dimension.
Yeah, which you can't kind of go into and they can't go into, but you're in the same space in a way. So if you can communicate with them, but that's like kind of against the religion, it's like sinning, and you know they can enter this if you allow them and give them the space, like open up the space, or somehow, I don't know, they can like kind of enter your body and all this stuff, you know. And there's just like how there are Muslims and people who are like not Muslim stuff, there's the same for them. That's what, you know, Islam says, I think. But yeah.
It is, if you think about like the religious ghosts. They're not called religious ghosts, but like in religion, like there's a part of it that that say that basically there are ghosts living among us, like genies or whatever. So yeah.
I also have sort of the notion that kind of like death is like permanent. Like I don't really believe in like heaven or hell, but I could see if you did believe in that, then maybe you'd also believe in ghosts, because you believe that there has to be something more as sort of like a coping mechanism.
I think it's psychology. If you're told something's scary,
But also it's like a tourism thing, like an attraction. Like you go to a haunted house because there are ghosts there, or like there's this place and it's said to be haunted. Like there are places in Canterbury that are like said to be haunted, and people like go there because like, ooh, like
you go there with an expectation, don't you? So I think it's part of your brain.
Yeah. It's kind of how like with aliens, like if someone was like there's aliens, I would like automatically assume that it's like this big green thing, you know, because you've seen that on TV and movies. But like if someone was like, yeah, there's some kind of like something out there, like an entity out there that's foreign to us, that would make more sense to me.
Yeah.